Imagine a world in which we only ever had one option. Restaurants with one dish, libraries with one genre, hair salons that only did bowl cuts. Things would feel pretty limiting. While thankfully that's not the world we live in, when it comes to home buying, it can feel as though the single-family house is the only option. But there are alternatives, people! The world of housing doesn't just include the single-family house or its conventional cousins, the condo and the townhouse, but a whole family tree of other, more unconventional homes. It's true, and I'll prove it by diving into some fun alternatives to the single-family house. Hi, I'm Zillow woman Delaney, and this is Learn with Zillow. Kicking off our list of alternatives is perhaps the most adorable of the bunch, the tiny home. Ah! Tiny homes are usually 400 square feet or even less, so if you're a major minimalist, a tiny home could be just the right fit. Even better if you yourself are very tiny. A huge plus to tiny homes, tiny utility bills. Not physically, I think tiny homeowners still get the regular 8x10 bills, but the numbers on them are much ittier-bittier than they would be for a regular-sized home, which is typically around 2,600 square feet. According to Zillow research, tiny homes are also certified little cutie pies. There is a tiny downside to the tiny home, not great for tall people. A very high chance of elbow bumps and head bonks. Next up is the tiny home's cool, steely older sister, the shipping container home. These can be stacked, cut, and arranged to fit all your dream house needs, or they can also come prefabricated. You can go the tiny home route with one single container, or go absolutely bananas and get yourself a shipping container, mega modern mega mansion. Just make sure to check those zoning laws first. Shipping container homes are also eco-friendly. Building one creates far less construction waste than that of a traditional home, which makes them even more chic. But it's best to put down your shipping container roots in a mild climate. While steel is very durable, it may not be the best at insulating. Hot places could feel extra hot, and cold places could feel very cold. If this was the tiny home's cool older sister, this next one is the shipping container home's wild hippie grandpa, the yurt. These squat circular structures are built with wood lattice walls and covered in fabric. History lesson! Yurts originated in Central Asia at least 3,000 years ago and were essentials for nomadic tribes because they were so easy to dismantle, pack up, and move. Nowadays, many North Americans pay $300 a night to drink wine in them and call it glamping. But yurts really are used as affordable alternatives to single-family homes, with some higher-end versions costing just around $30,000. Though I wouldn't blame you for becoming a full-on yurt convert, there's one thing to consider. They're really just bigger, better tents. If you're not the outdoorsy type, you're probably not the yurtsy type. Now maybe you're such a wanderlust that even the yurt isn't travel-friendly enough for you. Maybe you're craving wheels, baby? Then you'll love the yurt's hot influencer descendant, the van. These compact homes on wheels make tiny homes look like tiny mansions. Whether you choose to convert a van for a totally customized living space, or you buy one already decked out and ready to go, living the #van life is definitely the best alternative home option for the world traveler. And for those who don't mind, public campsite showers. If the roving around at your whim part sounds perfect, but the not showering until you find a public shower part sounds not so perfect, an alternative to this alternative is the RV. Because though they're pretty tight quarters, some of these mobile homes come with bathrooms, and sometimes they're even pretty fancy. Next up is the van/RV's very innovative, tech-forward niece, the 3D printed home. These futuristic lodgings are made with ginormous 3D printers. What? Because these are made with computers, they're very precise, which generally means less construction waste. While they're commonly built with cement, many companies are building with more earth-friendly materials like clay, recycled plastic, or mixtures of bioresins and wood fibers. So cool! And walls of 3D homes just take about 1 to 3 days to construct. So you can have an empty lot Monday and a super crazy cool looking future house by Thursday. The downside? Tough to decorate. Have you ever tried to hang art or mount a TV on concrete? So hard. And while I usually love mixing styles, your Victorian fainting couch may look a little out of place within those 3D walls. But maybe none of these are right. Maybe you're thinking you love tiny spaces, and you love homes that move, and you love eco-friendliness, but you don't love land. Then for you, our very particular viewer, let me introduce you to the 3D home's buoyant and nautical uncle, the floating home or houseboat. There's a difference between the two. While both are homes on water, houseboats are boats you live on. Boats that are houses, houseboats. Floating homes are houses that float, floating homes. Floating homes are permanently moored. They're essentially traditional single-family homes, but on water. And while houseboats do need to be docked in order to be hooked up to utility services, they can be undocked and unhooked and sailed off to a different waterfront city whenever you like. Both can be more eco-friendly than a conventional home, as they often use recycled rainwater, solar panels, and minimize land development, of course. A downside to both: storms and rough waters. But maybe that doesn't faze you because you've always really wanted to get to say stuff like, "Button down the hatches, mates!" All of these single-family home alternatives are certainly varying degrees of fun, but they're also varying degrees of demanding. Alternative lifestyles aren't always for the faint of heart, so take everything into consideration before you attempt to go full hog and start raising some land for your dream yurt. And while some shipping container, 3D printed and floating homes can appreciate over time, investing in more alternative home types isn't a surefire way to build equity. If you're gonna pay $100K for a camper van, you have to be doing it because you crave life on the open road, not as a financial investment. We've provided even more alternatives and information for you in the links below. But if you've thought about it long and hard enough and you feel you're ready to live the alternative life, Zillow can help. While you can't search for RVs on Zillow, you can search for the first step for many of these home types: lots and land. Or hey, try typing something a little more out of the ordinary under the keyword filter and see what happens. I hope you now realize that your options are endless. You can dream it, you can live in it. The house is your oyster, especially if you choose to live in a houseboat. Now go have fun out there, fam. Bye!